The national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Iyorchia Ayu, has come under fire recently as calls for his resignation intensify. One major stakeholder who has been vocal about Iyorchia Ayu's position is Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State. The Southwest arm of the party has also joined the push for the resignation of Iyorchia Ayu, with notable Southwest members of the PDP saying that with the All Progressives Congress APC picking its presidential candidate from the Southwest in the person of Bola Tinubu, the PDP would also need an influential politician from the region to be the party's chairman. A former deputy national chairman of the PDP, Chief Bode George, said Ayu must leave immediately in the spirit of fairness. Chief George, who said he was speaking as a national leader and not on behalf of the Southwest, said there was a need for the region to be given a sense of belonging, as all the key positions in the party were being occupied by Northerners. However, the PDP has restated confidence in its national chairman, Iyorchia Ayu. The party's national publicity secretary, Debo Ologunagba, made this known last week in Abuja. Joining us on the show this morning as we discuss the internal wrangling within the PDP is Abubakar Baraje, former national chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the morning show. So I'll just jump right in. What do you make of those calls to have the resignation of Senator Iyorchia Ayu and for him to be replaced with an influential politician from the Southwest to counter the influence of Bola Tinubu of the APC as the presidential candidate? And is this in any way connected to the postponed or the postponement of the NEC meeting, which was scheduled to hold and then postponed?
Thank you very much, Tudu. First of all, let me let you know that the PDP, People's Democratic Party, our party, has a tradition. And that tradition is very well known to all the members, even the entire Nigerians, that we have a tradition of zoning our party offices. So it's not new thing to us that if the presidential candidate comes from the north, definitely the national chairman of the party comes usually from the south. And I want to bring out two major issues here, or examples here. In 2008, when I was elected as the national secretary of the party, the late President Umar Musa Yar'Adua was also elected as the presidential candidate of the party. The then chairman was Colonel Ali Ahmad, retired. Ali Ahmad was from the north, or is still from the north, and the presidential candidate Umar Yar'Adua, the late, of blessed memory, was also from the north. The present elder of our party and our leader of our party in Lagos and generally in the south, Bode George, was then one of the vice national chairmen. I remember very vividly. I was coming in as the national secretary, and the chairman was from the southeast of Bulafo, chief of Bulafo. So the transition has to happen. Colonel Ali Ahmad has to retire, has to go, because the presidential candidate was from the north. But in doing that, there are processes and procedures. The then national chairman of the party, Ali Ahmad, has to stay to deliver the president after the elections. And immediately after the elections, the new executive came in and we took over. Obulafo took over from Ali Ahmad, and I took over the office of the national secretary. So that has been a tradition. Remember also that before the National Convention in 2022 of PDP, there were a lot of discussions about where the national chairman will come from. I was one of the center of this, I was one of the very constant discussants on that issue, if you remember. The chairman was zoned to the North Central, and which is part of the North. The NEC then approved and agreed, the NEC of our party, the NEC of PDP, then approved and agreed that the zoning of party offices should be separated from the zoning of the offices of the political office holders. It also agreed that if at the end of the day, our presidential candidate comes from any of the regions, either the north and south, then a decision shall be taken. Those were the two decisions recently taken in NEC meeting preceding the National Convention. What am I trying to say here? So we have a tradition. It's not until people clamor for it. And that tradition, we don't kill the tradition of our party. We operate it in accordance with our own processes. And the processes have started of putting things in order before the elections. What is happening is that people are so much in a hurry. People are getting jittery. People are not waiting for the party to organize itself. And I think this is where some of us, the leaders, are putting our heads together to ensure that those processes takes place so that we do not jump the guns. And this is exactly what we are doing. What am I saying, therefore, is that it's not as a result of the cries of the people or members, or it's not as a result of pressure coming from any corners that the chairman should resign. We have a tradition, and the party will definitely follow that tradition. The tradition of balancing, the tradition of all inclusiveness, and the tradition of carrying every member on all parts of the country along is the culture of PDP. And we will definitely, without fear or favor, without hindrance, definitely we shall put that in order where there are any lapses of that situation. Thank you.
Right, okay. Thank you so much for your insights. But I'd like to press a little bit further by asking that, yes, you said it's the tradition. That's the way the PDP normally will do their thing. And you've given us an example. But a lot of people are saying, in 2007, during the time of Yar'Adua, you did not have a certain Wike conundrum. Now, there's a Nyesom Wike that is unhappy with the party. You guys have tried to talk to, but he's given his terms and he's saying, this is what I want. How is the PDP settling the problem? And a lot of people are saying, to a large extent, that this problem with Wike might just pull your party down.
Can I just add to that? Because still along the same line.
I hasten to say.
Can I just add to that question
Sorry?
just before you answer? Because my question is along that line. Don't you think the process you're talking about should be hasted in order to placate this seemingly implacable Nyesom Wike? Because what started like just ill feelings from that convention is now amounting to a full-blown crisis within the PDP. Can't that process be hastened to placate him?
Thank you. You see, I kept on telling Nigerians, and I kept on telling members of our party, that what people are trying to kind of enlarge, kind of, put into the front burner is a normal issue. I mean, they are normal happenings. That after conventions, after elections, even at congresses, at the various state levels, you are bound to have ill feelings. And such ill feelings, definitely post-elections and post-conventions, when you come up like this, like the issue that you have just mentioned, internal mechanisms of the party are called to play to solve the problems. And that's where we are now with the issue of Governor Wike. Yes, Governor Wike is an individual in the party, but it's not just an ordinary individual. We agree to that. And it's been somebody who has been standing in for the party. We agree to that. But that does not say that we are going to kind of waive the law because of one member or a group of people in the party. The party is greater than anybody. The party is greater than any group. That process that you are saying we should hasten, there are other areas, there are other inclusiveness tradition that we must follow to hasten that process might injure the party. We know it. It has happened. And we will not, want to, do such a thing that will harm the party. We still have a lot of time. If you think time is not on our side, I say time is on our side. Time is on the People's Democratic Party side. We still have some time before the campaign begins. We have a lot of time to settle our quarrels within the party. Yes, the issue of Wike is gaining momentum because people do not wait. People are in haste. People are not just, ready to wait a bit and wait for things to be put in order so that we can go step by step to settle the situation. However, the organs of the party are at work. And if I may answer your question, part of your question, it is because we have not finished some of these homeworks. That's why we postponed many of our meetings, the meeting of the caucus, the meeting of the NEC, and the meeting of the BOT. We have set up various subcommittees and committees within the party. And the report of these committees have started coming in. And we have given them a mandate. We have given them timeline. And we have to wait for them to complete whatever they are doing. I just appeal to members, appeal to, aggrieved members particularly, to please give us time. And within a GV, we shall solve the problem. The problem of Governor Wike is not extraordinary. And it is not an issue that will throw the party apart. The party has been there, it is still there, and it will continue to be there. So, this is my appeal. Definitely, I kept on telling you, and I still repeat it, that the issue of grievances and, annoyances is as a result of elections and conventions, wherever it may be. It is happening in many other parties, even the APC, which you think are quiet. It's still happening there, you know it. They have greater problems. I don't want to talk about that anyway.
Right. What's your reaction, sir, to Governor Sanwo-Olu of the APC gracing an event by Governor Nyesom Wike? It's obviously been pointed out quite correctly that Governor Wike is in the habit of reaching across party aisles to invite certain VIPs to commission his projects and what have you. But the timing in this kind of fraught atmosphere is raising eyebrows. And there are other cryptic comments Governor Wike has been making about whether or not River State is appreciated and that River State can always vote for who appreciates them, which might suggest that he is flirting with supporting the APC in some capacity or another. How far is PDP prepared to go to fully bring him back into the fold? Seeing as he refers to himself, he was talking about what is sweet for him is painful for PDP. So he sees himself as outside of the party at the moment.
Well, like you rightly pointed out, Governor Wike and Mr. Project, that is how his people call him, and that's how we refer to him in the party. Invites dignitaries and members of our party to commission project, and he has done that over the past 7 years. It is nothing. It is nothing extraordinary for him to start inviting people from other party, other governors, other personalities. After all, what we are preaching in Nigeria today is politics without bitterness. Well, if it's starting from him, all well and good. And as far as we are concerned, if the party is properly brought to the awareness of him inviting people from the opposition party, he has a right. He has a right to invite anybody he wants to invite to commission projects. And commissioning projects to us by other members of the political party is pointing to the fact that our governors are performing. Come and see what we are doing. And with that, we might be lucky and to make some very fresh and very big catches from the opposition party. That's the way some of us see it. He has a right. But what we know is that the party must be brought in to know. He's a leader of our party. He's a governor of a whole state. So for him to stop him not to call anybody he wants to come and commission project, I think it's out of place. So he has a right to do that. However, if during the commissioning of some of these projects, he makes some statements that attract attention, I think the leadership of the party will call him to attention, and we shall discuss about such issues. And saying that he will appreciate, the River State people will appreciate people who appreciate them, I think it's a kind of unilateral statement, not pointing to anybody, not pointing to any group, not pointing to any political party. So to me, I think Governor Wike is still within his bounds. And I will say there's no cause for alarm.
Okay.
What I want to say in summary is that we are pleading and requesting members of our party and non-members, particularly Nigerians, the electorate, that things are still under control. Under control in that the party is still very intact. And the party has a constitution. The party has rules and regulations guiding it. And many of us who are leaders of the party, if not all of us, are people of the system. We will follow the rules, we will follow the constitution, and we will abide with our culture and tradition in line with our own laws to run this party. That's what we have been doing. That's what PDP is known for. And that is why we are the winning team all the time, or the winning party all the time. We will keep our tradition. People should be patient with us. Wherever it goes, whatever the way the issue of the Wike goes, the party is still very, very intact.
Okay. You said no cause for alarm, but the convention is out there. A lot of people think there's fire in the mountain, and I'll prove it to you. The things he said during that event was the fact that if I leave the PDP, I will still do well. Those were Governor Wike's words. That if I leave the PDP, even if I'm not part of the PDP any longer, any party I go to, I will still do well. And some, newspapers are also reporting the fact that this is about the first time that, apart from, yes, we know he reaches across the party line, other people come in, but this is the first time that no top chieftain of the PDP was invited. Normally, we invite the chieftain of the PDP and, people from other party across the party lines and things like that. But for the very first time, he had in his good company the likes of Dave Umahi, who is governor of Ebonyi State, member that defected to the APC. He's got Governor Sanwo-Olu with him. We also here invited Femi Gbajabiamila. So these were mostly APC people. And in recent times, governors of the APC have gone to meeting. Lots of the governors of the APC have gone to meeting. And there was also an incident where Alhaji Atiku Abubakar was having an event somewhere in Abuja, and Governor Mike too was convening another meeting with some governors in Abuja. So what do you say about all of this we've put on the ground?
You see, I don't know whether you are aware that Governor Wike and His Excellency Atiku Abubakar have started meeting. And you have not waited for the result of that meeting. All that we are reading in the social media as it is, hearsay. You have not heard officially that the meeting has been concluded and these are the resolutions. So what I'm saying is that let us wait for official results of many of these meetings. Yes, Governor Wike met with some governors the day His Excellency Atiku Abubakar was meeting with governors, but it's the same PDP governors. All right? And I remember I said something about a week ago or 2 weeks ago on this, on one of your programs here, that the meeting of Governor Wike with a group, he has a right to meet pressure groups within a party. But what we expect is that when such groups meet, it must meet with the aim of putting the party together. And they have made their feelings known. They have, pressed their grievances on the party. And part of the grievances is what we are looking at right now. And part of the resolution of the BOT was Atiku Abubakar to meet with Wike And Atiku Abubakar has met with Wike. And another meeting may come up, you don't know. But we know that the process is on. Well, some of the things you have mentioned are issues that are very strange because it has not happened, particularly from the Governor Wike's end, to invite people from the association. But like I tell you, he has a right to do that. Nobody is going to question him not to do that. And until Governor Wike declares that he is no longer a member of PDP, as far as PDP is concerned, he's still a bona fide member, and not ordinary member, a leader of our party, governor in our party. So, as far as we are concerned, he has not done anything that is anti-party. He is still behaving within the law. And I can't remember the statement you said he made now, that if he goes to another party, he will still very well. Of course he will.
If he goes
Somebody
to
who has
party,
done
that if he leaves the PDP, he will still do well in another party.
Of course he will. Anybody that leaves PDP to go to another party will do very well. Haven't you seen that in APC? Haven't you seen that? The present chairman of APC, is he not doing very well? Is he not from PDP? So what we are saying is that anybody who leaves PDP has a basis, a very strong basis, a very strong take-off stand to be kings and to go and make kings in another party. So it's a fact. Like I said, he has not gone on travails. He has not, done anything that is against the rules and regulations of PDP. I mean Governor Wike. And as far as we are concerned, we are still relating with Governor Wike, and we are still meeting with him, and we are still, we still believe that very soon all the hula balloons will be over.
Okay.
And I want to say that to Nigerians.
Okay, a couple of questions, but just before that, just to point out that indeed he has been inviting people from other parties. He invited the vice president, even when things were very chummy within the PDP. And it was the vice president, Professor...
Exactly. Thank you for that.
Who gave him the title, Mr. Project. Yes. But what is seemed to be different this time is that there is no love lost between him and your presidential candidate, and invited Sanwo-Olu, followed by Aliyu Wamako, former governor of Sokoto State, the following day. That's what perhaps looks strange. But my question now, part of our introduction talked about the position of Chief Bode George, that with the APC having a Southwest person as its presidential candidate, that the PDP need to make a huge presence in the Southwest with a position. And also don't forget that some of the supporters of Wike within your party, Governor Makinde, former Governor Yofayoshe. So what is your position about the need to make some inroad into the Southwest with some appointments?
It's not only Southwest, my brother. It's the entire Nigeria. That's when I talk of balancing, right? And I talk of the tradition and culture of the party, vis-a-vis the constitution and other guidelines. And I gave you an example, which even included the same Chief Bode George in 2008, when he was national vice chairman of the party, that he has to go because of the constitutional provisions, which provides that there must be balancing and there must be, all inclusiveness. When I was coming as the national secretary before I transited to the table of national chairman, and where Ali Ahmad has to go to make room for Ubulafo, and many other changes that took place this year. And also give you other examples which happened recently. The conclusion of NEC, for example. So what we are saying here is that we have a tradition and we have law, and we behave in accordance with that law. That's number one. Number two, remember that in even keeping in line with that tradition, we have two national vice chairmen. One of them is for Southwest, remember? His Excellency Arapaja is from Southwest. He is one of our national vice chairmen. Is that not a big position? We have other positions zoned into the Southwest and Southeast. But that I mean, having said that, and that notwithstanding, we are saying that the process is on to ensure that in accordance with our constitution, we keep the balancing both the party offices, positions and political, positions. So it's a process, like I said, and we cannot hurry that process, like you are suggesting. You cannot hurry that suggestion beyond, what is necessary. Otherwise, we shall have a boomerang effect. Yes, he has been coming back to the aspect of inviting people to come and commission projects. Governor Wike has not run contrary to the rules of the party. He has a right to invite people, and he has a right to commission his project by all standard. And I'm happy you gave the example of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Osinbajo, who he invited even at the time when there was no rancor. So when there was no grievances, let me say, because what we refer to here, you refer to as rancor here, towards our grievances, and grievances can be addressed and will be settled. This is my take, and I believe that is the take of any of our leaders that is very conversant with the constitution of our party. I believe very sincerely we shall overcome the grievances, and many of our governors who are also with Governor Wike have been,
okay, sir,
contacted, and many of the leaders in that team have also been contacted, and we are talking. And I believe at the end of the day, the PDP will come out neat. Remember that meeting that was held between Atiku and Wike was held in one of our leaders' houses, right? Professor Jerry Ghana is one of the people in Governor Wike's group. And if we are not talking, the presidential candidate for PDP, Atiku Abubakar, will not go there. And there are other, members, leaders in that group that we have started talking together to the mainstream of the party and working together with the leadership of the party. I'm sure we shall overcome. We shall give you good news about our party very soon.
Right. I'd like to say a big thank you to you, sir, for your time.